Hey, it's Mike from Junkion Crafts and Builds, and last year G.I. Joe kind of released their 60th anniversary figures. These were non-specified, non-named characters, but just kind of different army builders that we had. The diver, the halo jumper, marine sniper, and infantry soldier. But for 2025, going into this, they came out with the new Legacy Collection line. And so far, we've received 2 figures in that line, which we're going to talk about today. So we have 2 Legacy figures to talk about today. One has been out since the spring, and that is the Search and Rescue Firefighter. And the second one, that is just now coming out recently, is the Action Joe Police Emergency Service Unit, or ESU. So I've been remiss to talk about the firefighter. He's been out. He's still sitting on some pegs there at your local Targets and stuff. But the ESU was first introduced during G.I. Joe Yo-Jo June earlier this year, and then was quickly dismissed due to some real-life world things that people didn't like, and they wanted to tie it to toys. It is now October 2025, and the ESU unit is starting to come out. Unless you had to go and grab it overseas to get it shipped to you soon, but we don't need to worry about that. We're regular people. We wait until stuff hits the stores as best we can. So the packaging for these guys, and I just noticed that's upside down, is really pretty neat, actually. Like a Legacy Collection here, it's still G.I. Joe Classified Series front and center. Nice window showing the figure and most accessories. Definitely themed with the Firefighter Search and Rescue. We got these really cool images on the side, which you can sit, if you're an inbox collector, these look kind of good together like that. We got our QR codes, whatever, and then some promo pictures on the bottom. And then on the back, we got more promo images of each of these figures. All the details for each one. Pretty cool. If for some reason you haven't gotten this guy, there is the UPC for the Firefighter. Again, readily available at most your Targets and Walmarts and online such. Here is the ESU UPC code. He's going to be kind of harder to find right now. I know Hasbro has them up for like $5–10 more than what MSRP. These were both like $34.99. So people are going to be trying to reach this guy a little more, I think. But yeah, that's the boxes. Let's talk about Firefighter first, since he came out earlier this year. So with the Firefighter out of the packaging, it definitely utilizes a lot of the Classified Series Snow Job body buck, but I really think this looks fairly sharp. So we have some really nice aesthetics look here to him. Definitely nice and bulky in regards to the fire retardant suit that he's wearing. Nice yellow and silver deco and paint across the uniform here and the jacket, and down here on the cuffs of the pants. Extra pockets, they're reusing some parts. Some of that seems a little unnecessary, but overall I think it cuts a nice silhouette. Like I said, he's big and bulky. There's the back, this new tooled strap for some of the accessories. We got a mark on mine, but yeah, the head sculpt, not bad, for out of the box. It kind of has that. It's an ambiguous Caucasian looking head, but you can also swap out the head or have a different race, so you have variety amongst your figures. So overall, really good. Articulation for this guy. Head doesn't go up too far or down that far. It is on a double ball peg here, as you can see, but as usual for Hasbro, they limit any of the articulation for the upper ball peg, so you're not getting much movement, but you got this nice texture for the neck and the head shroud. So okay, arms, a little tight with a heavy detent, but you can definitely actually get a little higher than a T-pose. You got your straight bicep rotation, pinless double jointed elbows, go that far. We only have one set of hands, and of course they rotate and are on vertical hinges for both sides. All right. We got a mid-torso twist here that without utilizing the lower ball peg, you don't get much back because of the straps. Not much forward, but if you utilize the second ball peg here that allows you to get a torso twist, you can crouch forward that far and bend back that far. Again, not much rotation there. We've got this overlay for the bottom part of the jacket. No drop downs. Legs can go up that far. Thighs. Oh, nice and tight, double jointed, holy crap, double jointed knees there. Yep, on both sides, clearly on both sides. We have a, do we have a boot swivel? Yeah, we do have a boot cut here, T-Man 978. We got our pivot down, or our hinge down for the ankle. We got our hinge down for the ankle. We got our hinge up, and we have a pivot. So, you know, just to kind of have him here, you can get some different action poses for this guy. You can actually kind of get a fairly decent split if you need to, or if you have him climbing ladders. Did I mention that you got a bicep or a butterfly here? But it doesn't really work, so that's probably why I ignored it. But yeah, you know, different poses and stuff. Okay, so we'll go through accessories, and again, for $34.99, they tried to fill them up with different type of accessories. Some hit, some miss, some are like, do we really need it? We'll start out with a pair of small axes. Again, nicely decoed, black, red, and silver for the blade. You know, those are nice. But if the two small ones were not enough, you also get a big two-handed axe as well. You get a pry bar here with a fork on the end, and then two styles of blades for the top, black plastic, and actually nice and firm, not gummy at all. We have a small sledgehammer, again black plastic with a silver, plugging into a silver cap here. Looks nice. And you can't have the baby one without the big one, so we got a two-handed sledge as well. For the figure, not only do we have, like I said, the darker complexion and then the Caucasian head, we also have an oxygen tank, which is actually really nicely done. I mean, the yellow could use another pass, as you can see here, but overall it's nice. The tampo's good. You know, nice. Got this kind of gunmetal paint here on the gray plastic, so that looks good, and that fits directly here in the back of the figure, nice and snug, and looks really good. For the head, we have a oxygen mask, since we talked about the tank, and that is a clear rubber painted black with red accents, and then we have a hose attached to it that can be popped off for ease of use. So that's nice. Additionally, we have a fireman's cover. In addition, we come with a pair of goggles. Again, clear plastic and then painted gray around. And for the sake of use, I'm just going to put the goggles on the Caucasian head here to simulate that. And then if we want to put the fireman's cover on, you slide the head into that. The chin strap actually goes underneath the chin if you want. And then there's the look of the fireman with his helmet on and the goggles. And if you want him fully decked out, here he is. And I think that looks really good. That's a nice complete feel for the character. Last two accessories include Jaws of Life. We saw this contraption with Dreadnought Ripper. Again, the teeth here for the jaws can open and close manually. Final accessory is a thermal blanket. And, you know, this is the introduction of soft goods, but it's really, it's pretty large. It's a nice little swath there, shiny, obviously silver on that side, and then the canvas on the back. Definitely pretty cool. So that's our look at the first Legacy figure of 2025. Let's move on to the new kid on the block, which is the ESU officer. And here we have our ESU officer out of the box, and Overall, I think this is a really nice looking figure. Definitely reusing parts from Law and Order. I think some of the things that really helped this guy out, not only just the fact that he's a police officer, you know, the head sculpt. This head sculpt here, default out of the box for a darker skinned individual, looks really good. I think this is like one of their better neutral sculpts that's not a named character. It looks really nice. We kind of got this this little you know, haircut where it's peaked in the back or trimmed in the back like a triangle, close cut on the sides. We got sculpted in cuffs, flashlight, another thing for the accessories, loops, buckles, pouches. None of the buttons are painted, but you know, you could always do that yourself. We kind of have this tactical uniform here. Again, kind of like a, you know, this jumpsuit overlay, and then you have like this compression shirt simulated underneath here. Looks like it's state issue or private issue there. If I can focus, sorry. On this side of the sleeve, and then we have police on that side. What is that? Something Hill here on that. Nice tactical pants, kneecaps. We got our pouches on this side holster here, boots, nicely done. So I mean, it's a good reuse of the existing inventory. All right, articulation. Again, because of this collar, you're not going to get much movement out of this guy. As you can see, it pops out. We got a ball peg system here, ball peg down there going into the neck, and then another ball peg up top. Still not going to get a lot of room out of that. But while we're here, we might as well show one thing, and that is you can change the race on this guy as well, and just plug that in. So now you have options for customization for your officer. We talked about the neck, arms, you get a little higher of a T-pose, sculpted bicep rotation, you know the drill, elbows, wrists. This is a vertical hinge, and this hand here is on a horizontal hinge. We've got this nice little watch and bracelet on the wrists here. For the torso, you can get a little more out of that that U joint there. You can crouch forward that or bend forward that far, bend back a lot further. As you can see, that U joint is right there. Got our ball peg for the waist, put them both together, and you can bend down that far. Drop downs can get you up that far. Thighs, rotation, double jointed knees, our boot swivel, hinge down, hinge up, and pivot. So a little more range than our firefighter guy. Accessories, well, we already talked about the two head swaps. We also have a combination cover for the police officer, and that sits like that on him. Not bad. We have a pair of tactical shooter glasses. So put them both together. You got that look. Additionally, we have a tactical helmet here. Nice black plastic with this movable clear plastic face shield. We got police tampoed across the top, and that sits. You can get that on the head there. Pull the strap down, and there's that tactical look. And you can put the visor down and block his face or protect it. So if we're going into that situation, we're definitely gonna need a little more protection. So this guy comes with a police riot shield. Nice plastic, not flexible at all. Police tampoed, and then all these other scratches and marks on it. Here's the back. It's definitely set for this hand, the left side, armed up like so. Let's see, what else does he come with? He comes with a PR24 nightstick, and it can slide onto his belt like so. We have a standard sidearm. We've seen this plenty of times, just simple black plastic with a blast effect. Plug it in, and now that's not going to fall out at all. We had a pair of cuffs sculpted in the back, but he also comes with a accessory set of handcuffs, and that also has a place here on the back. It's got a little slit, and you can kind of slide those into place and down. He is an ESU unit, so he has his flare gun. We saw this with Doc. Again, black plastic. We have this yellow painted over. It's not bad. And then we have a blast effect there. Additionally, for a non-lethal deterrent, we have a taser. We have our thigh holster that the taser can sit in quite easily. We also have a tactical shotgun. We saw this, I think, most recently with the Cobra Claw female pilot. You know, we have the removable drum. We have our cartridges painted red and gold. Grip, our grips are painted brown, and it's blast effect compatible as well. Oh, to be cute, we have our little police cup o' Joe. His name's Joe. Got our cup. I don't want to stretch out his hands, but obviously he can hold that. Would be nice if we had item holding hands with these guys, but we don't. Last thing we will talk about, similar to the thermal blanket with the Fireman, we have this poncho. Anyway, this is similar to what we got with the infantry soldier. It's just a really thin piece of soft goods. We've got tampo here for police. We got an actual pocket. You can slide stuff in there. You know, nothing too extravagant, but you can go ahead and just put this over him. And thankfully it's stretchy where you don't have to worry about taking off the helmet. And now he's protected from the elements and all decked out like so. But that's the police officer ESU unit. How about we do a couple quick comparisons? Since I used the ESU in the video talking about the Ultimate SWAT Officer, video is right up here. You can see like there's really no comparison between these two in regards to the amount of sculpt work and articulation and stuff. But if you wanted to have a specialist and then have some relatively inexpensive background figures to flesh out your police force, you can do so. Next we have Law here, which again, as I said, shares a lot of pieces and parts between the ESU and himself. But yeah, you know, nice compliment to the Joe team as expected. If you have some civilians for your MCU, these guys will fit in perfectly with the police officer here with Jimmy Woo, American Chavez, and Homecoming Peter Parker. Continuing to expand across here, we have our MCU Daredevil, Born Again Punisher, and Maximum Spider-Man. And if we're crossing all the streams and other alternate 1/12 scale action figure lines, here we have the Monster Force Declan Van Helsing, BBTS exclusive, and the Series 5 Sidewinder from Valaverse. So final impressions of the G.I. Joe Classified Series Legacy Collection, Search and Rescue Fireman, and Emergency Service Unit Policeman. I do have to kind of give Hasbro their props with the Classified team in regards to creating figures that are more real world instead of, you know, military guys or costume heroes or something like that. This is something that, you know, as adult collectors and photographers and all that stuff, we've always been trying to get these companies to create these type of figures just to flesh out the world building aspect that collectors like to have. How it translates out to the fact that they're toys for kids, these are definitely a little more desirable than the 60th anniversary figures. Not that they were all bad. I know there was some controversy with the sniper, but the Halo jumper was really good. The infantry soldier was okay. The diver was okay as well. It had some new accessories and stuff. What these essentially are kit bashes that Hasbro is putting together and reselling to you at a higher cost, for good or bad. 35 bucks for a kid right now, for families, maybe a little high. You know, collectors are going to collect no matter what. The Fireman has enough pieces and parts that really make him look like an actual fireman. The ESU is kind of stylized. I don't know many police officers that are decked out like this, but again, he is an emergency service unit, so he could be utilizing some additional specialized equipment, like we said, with the flare gun, the taser, whatnot. I think these are decently executed kit bashes. Right now, like I said, the Fireman is available at most stores right now. And I believe the ESU unit will be coming into stock to most e-retailers. I know Amazon had them up for a minute. That's where I got my police officer before they sold out again. And I know Pulse has them in stock now, but for 40 bucks, that's kind of predatory in my opinion, especially when the MSRP is $35. That's my impressions of the Legacy Collection figures for 2025. Let me know in the comments, are you army building? Which one were you excited for more? The Fireman, the ESU guy? Are they really fitting the bill for what you're expecting for a NPC style figure for your collection? Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments for this video. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. So like, comment, subscribe, hype, all the jargon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will talk again soon. Bye.